Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, and welcome to Story Time, a very, very special story time. And good morning to you, Marietta, as well. Hope you're doing well. And I do apologize ahead of time, because you will have a kind of double intro, since we did have a recording of our conversation that happened, and so you get into that as well. But we're here celebrating this amazing book. Can't believe I'm actually holding a copy in my hands. A Season for Fishing, a fish fry tradition, and of course written by the amazing Pamela Courtney and the equally amazing Toni D. Chambers on illustrations. And this one is published by Farrar Straus and Giroux. Thank you so much for being here today on Story Time. And as always, let us know where you're joining in from. And if anybody else is joining in with you, let us know. I will be sitting right here having a cup of tea and just enjoying the conversation. And if you do have any questions, please do post them. And we'll try and make sure that we get them to Pamela Courtney and, of course, Marietta, if it is for her as well. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Story Time. Good morning. How are you doing? Good to see you, Marietta. Welcome. Alan Wells, good morning to you. Thank you for joining in. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you here on Story Time. Appreciate you. Pamela Courtney, good morning. Out there in Natchitoches, Louisiana. Yes, it is that kind of Friday. Yay! And good morning to you as well, Kathy. How are you doing? It's a happy Fish Fry Friday, Pamela Courtney. Congrats to Toni. Thank you so much in Columbus, Ohio. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for that lovely message. Appreciate you, and I hope that you have a wonderful weekend. Friday, but of course, we have a great way to start this Friday with our conversation that we had. Myself, Pamela Courtney, and of course, Marietta Apollonia. So get ready for that one. Get comfortable, get cozy. And if you're like me, grab your cup of tea and get ready to enjoy a wonderful story. And I'll see you on the other side of this conversation.
Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't leave lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing.
Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to Storytime. Thank you indeed for joining in. And this day is special. Special. We've been waiting for this book, but it's finally here. And yeah, we can continue to celebrate, enjoy it. And I hope that you've gotten your copy. I hope that it's arrived at your local library. And if not, ask them. What are you waiting for? Let them know the book is out, and get it. Let them have it for you. Remember, libraries are there for you to use in so many different ways. But of course, one of the main ways is books. And I hope that you get a chance to utilize them that way. And remember to get your library cards. That way you support your local libraries. And so they have the funding that is needed. Thank you so much for joining us here today on Storytime. We do have a wonderful time ahead. I can guarantee you that. And today, it's not just me presenting, but I do have my co-presenter with me today. What somebody from, who's become Storytime family at this point. Please join me in welcoming to Storytime, Marietta Apollonia.
Hi, Peter.
How are you doing today?
I'm glad you've trusted me with this.
Full trust.
I love it.
We got this.
I'm so excited to celebrate Pam's new book.
I know. You know the amount of times I've said May 20th. May 20th. May 20th. And I think there might have been a date moved or something at one point.
Yeah.
I can't remember that. Pam will let us know. But I remember at one point it was supposed to be coming out. Maybe even last year. I can't wait. Let's see what
it
Pam
was
thinks.
on my calendar for this weekend.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh no, was I wrong?
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're here. And
Me too.
yeah, what you been up to? What are you up to? What's going on? I know we're celebrating, but
Yeah.
what is it?
Nothing new. Stay home. Yeah, nothing
Sometimes
new.
that's good, right?
I know. I like status quo. It's really nice.
I
I've
like
just been
that.
working on some things, and everything's great.
Yeah. How's Henry doing?
Henry's great.
Yeah.
He's in school. He wishes he could be here so he could pop up in the background. Per usual.
No, we love it. But you've seen this book from in many different stages. So how does it feel now to be here at this point?
I'm so excited for Pam.
Yeah.
So excited. She's just she's such a kind and giving person and friend and author with her time. So I think if anybody has deserved having a debut picture book out, it's her.
Yeah. No, I am with you on that, honestly. There are people you meet in life, right? And it just feels like, wait, why hasn't this been like this all along? And that's definitely how I felt. Like we met, and it's the internet has many things you can complain about. But honestly, like for me, being able to have such wonderful relationships, community with people like yourself, Pam, and so it's just been such a blessing, such a refreshing thing to have. And even when you're going through the pandemic and coming out of it, whatever that looks like for everybody, but having somebody that I find myself like, I'll call Pam sometimes when I was driving on my commute from work and stuff, and it just feels like his family. And it's just been
to be able to have relationships with people that live, you're all the way across the country, and Pam's in Louisiana, and I'm going to show up her house one day for fish fry. She's not even going to know I'm coming.
Yeah. Oh, no, I love it. Well, no, I love that. And then, like you're saying, we have huge triangle today. We're triangulating this. But, like Marietta, you're helping me today, co-host, hopefully not the last time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'll let you do the honors. First. I'll let you do the honors of introducing.
Yeah, you let me know at the end.
So all yours. You can introduce Pam.
Oh my gosh. Everybody, Storytime family, I'm so excited for this beautiful woman's debut picture book. And let's bring on Pam Courtney.
Yay.
Okay, you're gonna have me crying already. So wait for that.
Hi, Pam.
Hey y'all, how you doing?
Welcome to Storytime.
I'm so honored, so glad to be here. I mean, my babies grew up with you, Mr. Limata, and they started in 2020, and now one is going to high school, the other is the other two are off to middle school, and they started when they were in kindergarten and fourth. It's this full circle moment is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful and grateful. Marietta, I mean, hello. This is a great day. This is a great day for me. I appreciate it.
I'm going to see how you feel about me at the end of this. I remember like coming up, Pam was the one that suggested Storytime in 2020 on like our critique Zooms or something like that. And she was like, oh, you should really check it out. Henry might really like it. So we did. And we were just like, I had wished it had been around. I wish I had known about it even longer than that. But it's been, it was such a amazing thing. And look at, here's Pam and I. Storytime.
Yeah.
I'm curious on that too. How did you learn about Storytime, Auntie Pam?
I don't know. I think it just appeared in my feed. I just and I clicked on it and I saw it, and then I just told everybody else about it. I mean, you know, I just loved it. The kids loved it.
Yeah.
There were some books. We had really great conversations on while we were there listening to, you know, Mr. Limata read his story. So yeah, it just appeared on my Facebook feed, I think.
Oh, well, I'm glad. You know, the algorithm again. There's many things you can complain about it, but I'm glad that happened.
Yeah, right. It was, you know what? I really, really do believe this was meant to be, because Peter, I heard you say something about you'll call me on the phone. And Mer, we stay on the phone an unhealthy amount.
I've heard about these.
It's like I'm talking. Really, it's like, you know, Auntie Pam, he says, and I'm like, you know, it's too long. We talked.
No,
but I enjoy it. I enjoy everything we talk about.
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. But
he knows his family though.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like the amount of times, honestly, like, and even just, I mean, my expansion in terms of how I think about Louisiana. Of course, you knew, like, oh, you knew there's Baton Rouge, you knew there's, you know, New Orleans and everything. And so, but like to them, like, oh, there's this other place. Like, wait, I can't even pronounce it. It's like, and then, you know, you get to learn so much more, and then you see all these connections, right? And then we have Ola whose parents are in Raston, and so it was just kind of like all these things coming together. Now I was like, oh wait, and so it's just been such a wonderful journey for me personally. And I remember my sister when she saw, so I've told her sisters, the middle sister, when she saw the video, you know, like the little intro video, the break that we do on Storytime, when she saw that, and she's like, oh my God, like she messaged me immediately and she's like, Auntie Pam's house looks like a Zambian house. Like, you know, like inside of it. Yeah. She was like, oh my God, that's just, she's like, is she in America? I was like, yeah, she is. She's in Louisiana. But it was just so crazy. Like she saw that and just could relate. And it's so interesting when you came in, you know, like I know that right now you have a background, but when you came in and there was that, it just took me back to that for a second as well. Like,
yeah. But the vintage furniture passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Absolutely. Ah. I know. And Marietta too. And oh yeah, Auntie Pam is back. But I know that. I mean, you've seen. How has it been for you in terms of, like there's relationships that have been built, and we've come through the pandemic. How has it been for you? Seeing this book come to where it is now, but also relating that, say, with Henry. I don't know if you had a chance to read it with him yet, or if you had a chance to kind of talk about it, or any of those, and how that kind of influence, like just looking at maybe the differences, similarities in the childhood and so on.
I think Henry probably heard some of the iterations of it during our critique group Zooms, because he always liked to hang out right next to me.
Yeah.
During those. But I only just picked up the book from my local bookstore. It came in yesterday, so he hasn't gotten to see it yet, but he knows whose book it is, and he's very excited about it.
I love that.
I feel very honored to have heard other versions of it, and just to see it, make its way into the world.
I know. No, it's fantastic. And too, like, you just said that, and I was just thinking now, how Auntie Pammy said you were sending me a copy, but then we're also getting a copy from publisher, right? And I think I'll give the copy to Soraya. She's right in Oakland. And yesterday, when I was live yesterday, and it was your clip that I played, just for break. And then she typed in this, like, "Hi, Auntie Pam." It was just such a And I remember meeting Soraya, and the first time we met in person, like she came to Emerson, my former school, and was she was picking up a book or something. And I gave her the book, and then she was like, "But I can't read." I was like, "You will be fine. You learn to read at some point, and you'll be fine." And now to see her like typing in things and be like, "Wait, because before I was like, So it's just been really fascinating and seeing, and then it's just reminded me. I think if there's one person that I would love to share that one with, I think it's her for sure.
That would bring my heart such joy if Soraya could get that. Oh, that would be so lovely. And so I'll be sure to take a picture.
Yeah, I'll be sure to take a picture and send it to you for sure.
Oh, yes, please do. Please do. That is perfect. That is absolutely the perfect thing. Thank you so much for that. Yes.
No, for sure. Yeah. And I know too that, we have a book to celebrate, and I know the three of us could go on forever. Let's get into the book, and then we'll come back and have more conversation. So I'll just go on a short break while we prep, and then we'll be right back after this. And remember too that today we are celebrating the release of Pamela Courtney's book, brand new book. Finally here, yes, a season for fishing, and it's so funny. I hope I'm saying that right. I can't wait to hear you say it. A season for fishing, a fish fry tradition, and I want to hear more too about Toni D. Chambers, if you've gotten to interact at all, or if that has been a separate operation that has been happening. So and a big thank you too to Farah Strauss and Giroux, an imprint of Macmillan Publishing. It's I think it's one of those, like we talk about mainstream media and so on, or the big publishers and everything, but to also have one of us there, not just one of us of the Storytime community, but one of us too, as in Black folks and everything. And just like, I think one from Louisiana, like you were saying, I think there's a lot more that we want to be touching on that. To have your book published there just makes it so much more real and feels like somebody out there is seeing the world, not just in what we've been funneled to see, but to see it as a wider space, diverse, and especially at this time when diversity feels like the word, like we can't say that, so it's just really love it. But we'll be back after this short break. Big thank yous, big celebration day. I hope you enjoy this book, and I know Pamela has put in her soul, heart and soul into this book. And let's enjoy it. We'll be right back after this short break.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amanda Davis. I am a children's book author, illustrator, and high school art educator. I am the author of 30,000 Stitches, the inspiring story of the National 9/11 flag, illustrated by Sally Warren Comport and published with Worthy Kids # book group. One thing that drew me to writing 30,000 Stitches was the idea that people from all different communities came out to stitch this flag and make it whole again. So I hope that when people read 30,000 Stitches, they remember the power of sharing our stories. When people came out to stitch the flag, they shared their stories, whether about loss or pain or love. We all have stories to tell, and by sharing our stories and listening to one another's stories, we can create a better understanding of each other and create a sense of connection and unity. And this is what creates a more inclusive world. I hope you enjoy your story time with Mr. Limata. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, Amanda. Yes, the power of sharing our stories, of hearing one another's stories. And we're here today for Pamela's story. So excited for that. And I hope that by the end of this, by the end of the book, it is your story as well, one that you can resonate with, one that makes you want to hug that person that is next to you. So here we go into our book today.
This is good. Love that. I love that. All right. Shall I read?
Yes, please go ahead. Marietta, you're in charge.
You.
Up the ball already.
All right. So let's get to it. A season for fishing, a fish fry tradition. And I'll start with the prologue at the beginning. There's a rush in the water. Old Cane River. She smiles. I smile too. She closes her eyes, sways back and forth, back and forth. Old Cane murmurs, "Welcome to Fish Fry Friday, Cher." Cane River calls. Sister Wind brushes curtains against my cheek, but I'm already awake. Old Sun peeks, then winks at me. I know why. Today is Fish Fry Friday. Aprons wave hello. I've waited so long, wished so hard for my own fish fry apron. It's family tradition going stillwater fishing on Old Cane, but it's hard waiting to fish with Paper, to be part of tradition. I race out of bed, no need to dress, slept in my lucky overalls, ready robed, my mare calls it, saving time, I say. Wrinkles, crinkles, my mare does not approve. I give my mare the sweetest peck, the biggest squeeze. My mare's hug is filled with the fragrance of fig preserves, cinnamon toast, and oh so much comfort. But I'm nervous. Do I measure up? Paper peeks, then winks at me. Here you are, Cher. Great Pear's prize cane pole? Oui, he won beaucoup contest with this pole. Did he? Now it's mine? You're part of tradition now, Cher. Merci, Paper. I bait my hook then and there. Catch me a mess of brim, Cher, my mare shouts. Nothing like brim on Fish Fry Friday. I catch sight of my uncles huddled together, kicking up puffs of Louisiana red dirt. Here comes their bragging, flies too. Howee! I caught a gar long as this cane pole here. No such a thing. My catfish got that prize. Red wigglers wriggle on my line, Me and my cousins giggle as a sign we approve of kinfolk trash talk. Sounds like Fish Fry Friday. I dash toward the riverbank, my excitement growing bigger than me. Remember, Cher, patience, calls Papa. I dip my foot in Old Cane, splashing, stirring up globs of soupy red clay. Shh, you'll scare the brim, says Papa. So I calm myself, hush myself, sit so still, listening, watching waves bob against the grassy bank. A dragonfly lands, rests on my hand, but only a while. She flits away to ride the ripples of Old Cane River. There's a sudden stir in the water, a whir of action on my pole. Plip, Old Cane River, she beckons, whispers Papa. I know why she's excited, I say. Looks like Fish Fry Friday, we whisper sing. Plip, 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 plop, how-wee, Papa squeals. Old Cane is ready. Shh, Papa, don't scare the brim. Anticipation grows. Sister Wind blows, nudging Old Cane's gifts closer, closer, until plip, plip, yank! How-wee! What a catch! Just like your great pair, Cher. Plip, plip, yank! Plip, plip, plop! Not just one catch, a whole batch of brim for my mare. I beam, twirling, whirling in joy as thick, as sweet as pure cane syrup. My mare will be so proud of me. My heart is full. My bucket is full. Then, snap, crack, whoops, slip, splash. No! My mare's brim spill, swim away. My eyes fill. Great Pear's prize pole. I search my bucket. Only one brim. Some Fish Fry Friday. My bucket is empty. I feel empty. And then my mare peeks and winks. My kin loop aprons around their necks, and my mare has won for me. Mine? But why? Oh, my share. Big catch, no catch. Today's about family, about you, not brim. My mare's hug is filled with comfort and oh, so much love. I giggle, wriggle in my new apron. My mare smiles. I smile too. Some Fish Fry Friday, eh, Cher? Kinfolk gather, spices scatter, cast iron skillets sizzle. Old Cane River's cuisine curls around our noses, sprinkling the air with sweet buttered corn and Paran's mock show, Cajun soaked Trinity and Tante Lula's potato salad, pepper vinegar and Nanan's chow chow. Mmm, smells like Fish Fry Friday. Papa shouts, the bounty's on the table. Let the Cane River fish fry begin. Folks chatter, plates clatter. For you, my mare, my first catch. Crunch. The sweetness of Old Cane River dances on our tongues with a perfect sting of cayenne on the crispy tail of our brim. Howee! Tastes like Fish Fry Friday. There is a hush in the water. I close my eyes. listening as old cane sways back and forth, back and forth. Old cane, she smiles. I smile too. Nothing like family on Fish Fry Friday, I whisper. I am part of tradition. And in the back is the author's note, and it just talks about how it was for me as a little girl going from house to house after people have come home with their long lines of fish, and me running from house to house, or me and my friends and I running from house to house, tasting everybody's delights. So yeah, fun times.
Pam, can you go through the pronunciation of the words?
Sure. Now, you have to know that the pronunciations and also the definition changes from parish to parish in Louisiana. And we all think that we're right with how we pronounce things and how we define a specific word. For example, ma mère, some people will call their grandmother ma mère, but it's really known as, it's simply my mom or my mother, but some people do refer to their grandmother as ma mère. I know a lot of people here did. So the first word is CHER, cher, and it is just a term of endearment. It just means sweetie or dear heart or my darling one. It's cher. Some people say cher, rhymes with chair. The next word is great père, and it means grandfather. Great père, great père. Ma mère, as I said, we would say things that we had a maman growing up in this place called Breedatown, where I'm from in Natchitoches. There was a maman, there was a ma mère, and they were all grandmother figures, both grandmother figures in our town. So down here in this book, we do define it as grandmother. MERCIBEAUCOUP, merci beaucoup. The next one, Nenen, it means grandmother. And merci beaucoup, of course, means thank you very much. Nenen is grandmother. Papère, we meant grandfather. Parent is your godfather. And the next one is Tante, which means aunt. And we had several aunties. We had several tantes. Tante Lula. We had a Tante Sarah. When we were growing up, we would say Aunt Tante Sarah. So she was Auntie Sarah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
interesting.
I love it. Yeah, no, definitely learning a lot from that. Marietta, was there one that is new to you on those?
Most of them, except for merci beaucoup. I always thought Cher was just a name until I wrote her book. Yeah. But then you're always worried about like saying it wrong.
Yeah. Well, if I were to go down South Louisiana, I'd be just bashed to death because I'm from Northwest Louisiana, and how we form our words is quite different than how they form and say words down south. So it's the same, and it's a totally different country. You move to a different, you travel to a whole different continent when you go down south Louisiana. So they pronounce things quite different with a totally different ear for language down there. So yeah. I would be considered a foreigner, actually.
No, that's so interesting too, though. I think, and Marietta, if you have a question too, we'll jump in as well. But I was just curious on that piece of diversity in Louisiana, like, because for a person like me who's looking in from outside, you're just thinking it's one, it's a monolith. So But you're mentioning all these bits.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think when they come down south, and especially to Louisiana, and they see someone that looks like me, they automatically assume, well, they talk a certain way. But in Louisiana, we're such a rich multicultural amalgamation of everything, of all the languages. And so we borrow we borrow from each other. We borrow the language, we borrow the food, we borrow the music. And so on our tongues lives the language of the native tribes, the people from Africa, the people from Europe, all of those language. I used to speak a certain way growing up. It was I guess it was a sort of a patois. I don't know, but we would say, oh yeah, his parent got beaucoup money, yeah. And I really thought that that's how Black people talk.
Mm-hmm.
I really truly did, and it wasn't until I got older that I realized, well, no, that's not, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show how everybody borrows from each other, and understanding and knowing the origin of your history is just so it's so important for you to understand that you are a part of something bigger than yourself, and you are a mixture of all of these things. And that we really aren't that different. But the difference is what makes us so special and so unique. And the difference is what we need to embrace, right? There's nothing more beautiful than diversity. To see the blue eyes of this cousin and the green eyes of that cousin and the deep, rich, brown, ebony eyes of another cousin, all in one family in Louisiana.
Yeah.
And to embrace all of that is just, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you embrace that beauty, that specialness? So yeah.
No, I love that. Marietta, do you want to jump in? Do you have a
I have a question, Pam.
Sure. Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun.
And there is the right answer to this, No.
It's a right answer. It's not open-ended. Okay.
Not a test. So in the beginning of the story, you use the words "Old Cane River, she smiles," and then "Sister Wind brushes curtains against my cheek." So I'm wondering if, beyond your writing, like the personification of nature, and for any of the kids out there, the personification is, giving something that is not human, I guess, like a toy or something like that. You give them human attributes. We're giving the river, a human attribute, like they're characters. And is that, beyond like the writing, is that something that you grew up with? Like, is it, how's that for a question?
Definitely. I used to sit on my grandmother's porch, and all of these women would come and they'd all be talking and gossiping, and all of them had a distinct way of speaking. You could tell which of the women came from a certain part of Louisiana by the way they held on to vowel sounds, or sometimes they talk in this very rhythmic syncopation, this very speedy way, and you knew where they were from. You knew that they were, they came from this particular tribe, right, down in Hampton, Louisiana, but the way they would speak was so poetic, and it was so visual. And I would just absorb it all. There was no way I could escape writing like that, writing from the experiences that I heard these older women speak about. How they would string words together just really captured my imagination, and it really captured my attention. I love listening to them. It wasn't strange to me because I heard it every day. However, it did create this imagination of where did they, the specific tribe that they came from, or the specific area that they came from. That's always the geography of people has always been so important to me. And what better way to learn about that is through language. And so, yeah, sitting on the porch with my grandmother, listening to these women is really a major contribution to how I write and why I write.
Yeah, I always notice in other writings of yours, you do such like an amazing job bringing in like scents, like smells and food. Always food. Where, you know, like Ma Mère's hug is filled with the fragrance of fig preserves, cinnamon toast, and oh so much comfort. It's just like gives you that. Like, I want that hug.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
my grandmother had a fig tree in the back of her house. And of course, she made fig preserves. And her house always smelled with some kind of jarred preserves because everybody on our street had some kind of a fruit tree, right? So yeah, that's where that line came from. It's just a wink and a nod to my own grandmother.
Yeah, you just weave such beautiful, like, all these beautiful, gosh, yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, I love that. And I felt that even more when there's a spread in the book where the little girl is sitting by O'Kane River right at the end. And let me just see if we can bring that up. But and when you were reading the word, when you were reading the passage, and I love that, Marietta, you left that to sit for a second while the words were being read, and you could feel this person being talked to by the river and talking to the river, feeling the river, right? And feeling that love and that warmth, that hug, which you mentioned as, I love that spread and just love that piece. And which kind of reminds me too, there's the word comfort comes back a few times. So just expand on that a little bit and tell us what that is, like why you chose that word.
Actually, I don't think I noticed that. Oh my gosh.
I think it comes up at least twice, but it comes up.
And I can't believe Mur, who is my critique partner, did not pick that up because she's usually good. She's very good at saying, okay, you've already used that word a couple of times.
Well, at least 2 times. So it's not a bad thing. I really relate to it. So I was just curious.
You know what? I think there's nothing more comforting than the love of family. Yeah. And especially when a family embraces their identity and they allow the child to embrace the identity of their family's culture. Yeah. That is a very comforting, and it's a very impactful way of growing up. So maybe that emotion just kind of weaved its way into the language of the book. I had noticed.
I don't.
No, I think maybe because it spoke to me. It was such
words.
I love that it spoke to you.
It did. It absolutely did. And there's so many things that I want to share, but we're celebrating you and celebrating your book. So I'm going to be holding off on a few things. But just a reminder to everybody that's joining in Storytime today that we are celebrating this amazing book coming to us from Pamela Courtney. Came out on May 20th. So 10 days as of this recording right now. So, but it's been such a joy just expecting that book, waiting for it and knowing it was coming, and just to see it, now read it, now enjoy that comfort that it has given me. I hope that it is giving out the same feelings to everybody that is reading it out there, that is joining in. But remember to ask for it at your local library. Find it where you find books. Are you looking for gifts for people's birthdays or any other things that may be coming up? Well, that is one to consider. Beautiful book, powerful book, and again, one that reminds us the power of telling our stories and creating spaces in which we can share those stories. So I really appreciate it. And we'll get back to our conversation, but please remember to support Pamela Courtney. And these two people here too, Pamela and Marietta, for me, like, it's just been such a support structure for me, where it's like, Marietta, we've had a chance to meet once, and driving up to meet Marietta when she was here in California was just like easy. Like there's no like, no, I'm driving up.
No, I was like, where are you coming from? Are you sure you want to drive to, where was I? Sacramento?
You were in Sacramento, yeah. No, it was worth it, and and cannot wait to see you in
Pam,
person.
I'm going to show up on your doorstep.
I would love it. But
Yeah.
so Peter, just so you know, she bragged to our entire critique group that you guys had met, and she put up the picture to show you it to us. And you, because everybody knows you, right? So, yeah, she bragged a little bit. And this is, here we are together.
Well, I guess this is Jenny. No, that was so fantastic. I have that picture. Yeah. Did I ever send it? I did send it to you, Marietta, right?
That just goes back to the just meeting people using, the computer and just the internet to meet people and make connections. And when you meet in person, it's just like, why did it take so long?
Yes. I appreciate that. I remember too. I was so excited just that, it just felt like, oh yeah, you are real. So much to celebrate. And honestly too, like it did not disappoint. Like I no, like, for real, like it's just like one of those things where it's just like, oh my goodness, she's super nice. And it's like in person, even better, so it was definitely that feeling. And but one of the things too about talking about, connections and special bonds and all of that takes me to your dedication in the book. You mentioned, you mentioned names, you talk about it. So I want you to just talk about took us through some of your thinking in that as well, and just kind of like what was that dedication and what is your, because you mentioned the word evolution in there, I think. So just thinking too, how has that come up? How have you evolved? How's,
I dedicated this book to my two nephews and my niece. I was homeschooling them 2020 until I think 2023. The last one said, he was ready to go to real school and eat real cafeteria food. So, so we had to let him go. But so I dedicated it to them because I remember when I was writing this, when we were sending the story off to my agent and the agent was sending it out, they were counting up how old they'd be by the time the book would be published. So when the editor said, here's the publishing date, they all counted up, how old they'd be. But this story began as a poem. And it began as a poem. It was going to be one of the poems in a novel in verse about Louisiana. And my critique partners and the instructor said, you know what, this would make a really good children's book. Why don't you add, a young protagonist, and let's see, try that out. And I did. I loved where the story was going. And so it evolved from there. It started off as a poem, a completely different poem. A young protagonist did not exist. It was about these older people, the grandpa and the grandmother. All of them got, as we say, killed off in the story. And we were left with just this young person who was experiencing the things that I experienced a little bit. It's very loosely based on my real life. I did more eating of the fish than catching of the fish, right?
I feel like you're looking at my notes because that was one of my questions.
The back matter is hugely me going from house to house to house. I think the young person, here's the thing, the young person really evolved in a way that was surprising to me. My editor said, you know what, your character needs a little bit more depth. Can we do something to raise that? And I took it to mean that there was a lack of intimacy that existed And Mara knows that I'm all about holding a reader in a special moment, creating that level of intimacy between characters. So I did some research, and for all of you writers out there, whenever you're stuck, when you're writing, research that area where you're stuck. And I guarantee you, you will find a gem. You will find the heart of that issue through research. And that has always helped me. So I was able to build upon who that character was supposed to be, the why would she exist on the pages. So yeah, that's kind of how the story evolved.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love how Toni, the illustrator, in your writing, when you hold those moments, man, her illustrations with your text.
You know, I have to tell you, when I first saw my character's face, I was filled with so much joy, because there is a person that this face reminds me of. The nose, the shape of the nose. I fell in love with that nose immediately, right? The purple hair, I was like, but then I thought, that's Toni's story. And I learned to there was all this stuff that I learned to appreciate. There was an intimate moment between Paper and Cher, and what made it intimate is the fact that Toni chose to dress them up in overalls, the same overalls and the same striped shirt. She knows that people down south, we love a uniform when we get together, right? We wear the same things at funerals, at parties, at anniversaries, at family reunions. We love a uniform. To me, that was so precious and so intimate. It was a lot of stuff like that. And then the variation of skin tones that she put in there, so typical of what a family, of what my family looks like. She even had a little red-haired girl in there, and I thought, you did it. That's it right there. Where they're playing, it's where the fish fry begins, where Paper is, and that part.
Where they're running through.
There's another one. I think the next one, there she is, little red-haired girl.
Yeah.
And the red-haired guy playing the accordion. I just thought, I thought, wow, she did that. And I loved it. So there were so many moments, the vibrant colors that she used, the action, the active way she had those lines of hers just sweep off the page, especially when they were fishing together.
Oh, the two spots, this one. Oh, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, let me try and remove this. So yeah, you can.
I just
yes, where she's whirling,
like the movement and the how the rod is bending and how she's flipping that,
yes, she just, where the word says whirling and twirling in joy, as sweet and thick as. She just made that come alive. And she also gave my character this quirky little personality of having these yellow galoshes. Who would have thought? Now, that exists nowhere in the text, right? But what is wonderful about Toni is how she created her own story. And I kept saying that I want to see her story. Please tell Toni I want to see her story in this book, and she did not disappoint at all.
Love it honestly. I see all those things that you're talking about, and getting insight too from you, Merida, as well, and on that illustrator, and that is just, I love it. And to Pam, you saying that, like, I want to see her story, I want to hear, like, that, so powerful, and it shows, it comes right through. Like, I was looking at the face, just mentioning even the accordion player. just the idea to have them look up versus
Yes.
looking down, it's a
Yes.
whole different feeling. That
It's a whole different feeling. It's joyful, right?
Music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's just really interesting, like seeing that, yeah, and I'm feeling it. You know, and I know we could go on so much to celebrate, so much to talk about in the book, but also just wanted to touch on who are your inspirations? Because for me, I look at this book and for some reason, like it's giving me some of like, is it Jacqueline Woodson kind of like, I don't know, like I'm getting a bit of that, but I was just wondering, like, who are your inspirations? What, you know, like in the books, in the way you write or in the way you, and I know that's a big question, but just wondering.
It's a huge question, and it's not a picture book writer. It's Toni Morrison, actually. I can't claim to thoroughly understand her books. They're far too deep, but I love how she manipulates language, how she is completely in control of your emotions through her words, and how she'll bring you to an abrupt stop. And then she'll have words that's just dripping with love and compassion. And sometimes if you read it too fast, you'll miss her intention. And you know instinctively that you have, so you'll have to go back and read it again. But she is my mentor. But also Carol Boston Weatherford. She was my first mentor. And I love her poetry. I love the way she uses language to convey her messages. So yeah, those two that I think of off the top of my head were huge influences. But also my mom used to tell me about the letters that her older brothers and sisters would write to her. And she said, your words, your language reminds me of the letters that I used to get as a little girl from my older brothers and sisters when they would be away. So yeah, I think those are the influences, right?
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Because I was looking at it and just immediately I saw that picture from the first time I saw that picture, and then now looking at it and, you know, getting deeper into it, and you're like, oh yeah, like definitely speaks to me from that. But yeah, no, there's so much. Congratulations, Pamela. Really,
Thank you.
It's been a while. I mean, Marietta is willing your book on and just waiting, and I think this one as well has been one of those. I've just been like, when is it? You know, like when is the 20th? When is it coming out? And it's so exciting. I can't wait to get the physical copy in my hand as well.
Yes. It should arrive today. You should have it today.
Get to read it with kids and and just share it and also just one to treasure, right? Like to add their books. I always add to my special collection, and this is definitely one of them. You know, like I already have Marietta's, and so this is one of them. And it's just like if I ever want to gift it, I will buy somebody else another copy.
Right, man.
But yeah. Well, this has been story time for today. We've had our special guest, Pamela Courtney. I've waited too long to say those words. Special guest Pamela Courtney, celebrating a brand new book, A Season for Fishing. And of course, our co-host today, I'll let her do the talking for herself.
Oh, no, don't do that. We don't stop right there. When Peter asked me if I would co-host, my first thought was, I don't know what he's really thinking is going to happen here, but because it was for Pam, of course I couldn't say no.
I'm glad you accepted. I'm glad you're here. You know, like I know how special this is for you as well, because we've had many conversations as well where I think, Pamela, you always come up.
That's, Mary is one of my biggest supporters, biggest fans. She's like, you got to do this. You got to get your website up. Fan of Pam. She is like, you don't have your website up. Never mind. I'll just do it.
I'll do it.
It's fine.
Yeah, no.
And then I call her and I say, well, I made a video from your video and I posted it to your website. So I'm not even asking for permission. I'm just gonna make it.
Yeah. So she's the enthusiasm that just splashes onto me from her. It's overwhelming, but it's wonderful all at the same time. She's just one of my biggest supporters, and I'm just so grateful that we met and that we've been in this boutique group together and been able to share and grow together. The growth that we've had, it's just been amazing.
Pam
so thank you
so much.
You
I
taught
was
us
when she met me.
Yeah.
No better way to end than with that. I appreciate you both. I think I genuinely do love you both. I just have come to that point. Like I just, it's amazing. Thank you for everything, the joy that you bring, the checking in that you do, whether it's a picture of flowers from Marietta that we'll share every now and then, or horses, or whether it's, just a greeting with Auntie Pam. And even just like the other day when you called, you're like, I'm at the post office. What's your address? It's like yes, he knows to call me. That is special because I think especially here there's a hesitancy with people calling and so on. And so for you to have done that, it's like, oh yeah, no, like we're good. We're good.
100%. Yeah.
No, please, my love to the families, the respective families. I appreciate you so much and cannot wait to celebrate this book. Bring it with me to all my events, and I just get to show it off and say, hey, I know the author.
Yeah. Thank you.
When I picked it up in my local bookstore, I stood in front of the owner's office and I said, "This is my friend's book. This is my friend's book. It's her debut." He was like, "Whoa."
That's wonderful. I love hearing that. I love it.
And Pam, I'll set you up for this one. You're going to say our goodbye in the most Mr. Limata way that I know Braylon, or is it Chad that always makes fun of me? So go ahead.
Yes, Chad loves the way he says. So guys, thank you so much. I had a wonderful time with my nephew, Peter Limata, and my wonderful bestie, Miss Mayor, my critique partner. So from our house to your house, we'll say goodbye. From story time with Mr. Limata, goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, goodness. This has been story time. See you next time.
That's funny.
Welcome back. Oh my goodness. Thank you for sticking up with us. Thank you for being here. That was Pamela Courtney, a brand new book, and of course, co-presenter there, Marietta Apollonia, joining us. Thank you so much for being here with us. That hour flew right by, didn't it? And yes, this book is available. Find it wherever you find books. Thank you to everybody. I see you in the comments. Kathy Halsey, Kathy Keith, Alan Wells, Mona Pease, and everybody that has joined in here. Appreciate you. Marietta Apollonia, please have yourselves a wonderful day. This has been Storytime for today. This has been Storytime celebrating Pamela Courtney and, of course, her amazing book that is out now. And remember, too, if you're in the Bay Area, please catch me tomorrow at Quiet Voices, Loud Feelings, a session that will be happening at the Bay Area Book Festival. And if you want to find out all details, Bay Area Book Festival, be sure to check out baybookfest.org. Thank you so much for being here. This has been Storytime. I will let you go. Thank you for being here. This has been wonderful. Really appreciate it. Marietta, job well done. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Biggest of hugs, and I will see you again next time when we're back for Storytime. Please enjoy your Friday and, of course, the weekend ahead. Thank you for being here. Bye-bye. And one more time, congratulations, Pamela Courtney. See you all next time.
Story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing story time with Mr. Limata. He will be starting soon. Oh, story time with Mr. Limata, where all your dreams come true. Oh, he brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? I just can't wait to be hearing. Brings to life your favorite stories with a great big smile. You won't live lonely, won't you start all the reading? We just can't wait to be hearing.